Now, over the years, I've posted a lot of videos of my attic O-gauge layout of running the trains, and several people have left comments in the comment section. Why don't I describe the scenery? They were kind of impressed, I guess, with the scenery and the detailing of the layout, so I thought I'd do that today. And of course, the first part of any layout to detail is the track. And I did this all with an airbrush and to try to simulate the rust on the side of the rails. That was one of the things right in the beginning when I got into it and doing the switches and the crossovers and all of the detailing of the track. I never realized how long it was going to take. This is the first layout I've ever done, that level of detailing on the track itself. And when I first built the layout, one of the things I wanted to have was several lakes. There are 3 lakes on the layout, and I wanted the trains to reflect in the lakes as they went by, and I think I've accomplished that, because from a lot of angles, when you're looking at the trains run, it's almost like the lakes are a mirror. And some of the details have been given to me. The coal tower was donated by a good friend. I made the coaling ramp kind of like a Lionel accessory would be, only made out of basswood, detailed, and of course with the same tracks, with the detailing of the tracks going up on the coal ramp. And I wanted, over the years, I've changed it many times so that the trucks can get in underneath the coal car, and I've detailed the coaling tower. I've done several things over the years, but every time I do one, I look back and I think, well, every little detail counts. The coal, even the coal is different grades of coal. I've changed the landscaping many times. And the layout, like all layouts, I guess, is always a work in progress. Now, my good friend Mike Kajeski, who helped build the table, I dedicated the coaling area to him, the Kajeski Coal Company. The model airplane fly-in field, Carlos Serra helped me build that. Actually, he built it, that turntable that rotates, and that's my model of my B-25, and that's, of course, me in the middle of the circle in 1/48 scale. And to get it to run at scale speed was a relatively labor-intensive thing. And making all the little models, several of my friends, several have made the models and donated them. Even the toolboxes and the little cones are detailed. And I love birds. I have had pet birds over the years, parrots, macaws, Baltimore Orioles. I love detailing the little people. I love all of the little things that go into this. I've used, and of course the people, some of them I bought commercially, some of them I painted from just the little plastic that they give you of the statues. And it's been fun adding people to the boats. The passenger train has 100 passengers in it. All of the cars have people in it. Every car on the layout has somebody driving it. And all the little people around the layout by all of the lakes, the ones that are fishing have fishing poles. These little detailed people, every one of them is a labor of love. And I always think the scenery on a layout, and most people come and they just look at the trains, but I enjoy the scenery, I enjoy the detailing, and every time I can add some detail. Now I've done this layout is 26 years old, and I've changed it many times. I've actually changed some of the track plan, and I've changed the buildings, and I've moved things around, and I've added things. I've added people, I've added the cars. It seems like every time I go to a car show, I come home with something to add to the layout. And the passenger station in the back. The passenger station is in a dormer of the house, and it reflects the background, the New York City background there. I wasn't sure what to do back there, but over the years I've redone it 3 or 4 different times. I've had where you see the cars in the front here, I've had a parking lot, I've had other buildings there, I had lighting stuff in there, and over the years it's changed. But I always like to go back to the original plan I had, is I wanted to have as many little details as I could possibly do. And even the coaling station, the little details, like the name on the side of the coaling truck is Kajeski Coal for Mike Kajeski. All of the little cars, and I know so many times I go, especially if a car is a convertible and you see it's an empty car going down the road. I love putting in all the people, and I've hand painted a lot of them. Now, of course, there's people that enjoy just running trains on a sheet of plywood, and there's nothing at all wrong with that, or garden layouts, or layouts that are ultra detailed. This is not one of them. I've done all of this from basically in the attic of my house. It's a privately owned, it's not a club owned. I've done about 99% of the labor myself. Some of the buildings are commercial buildings, plastic. Some are handmade, like the Carabello Boat Works. I made that with using balsa wood. I molded all the boats. All of the boats that are on the layout are molded from one rubber mold. I bought one boat, made a rubber mold, and all of the boats, then I made some sailboats and some rowboats. A lot of little detailing. This building is dedicated to my late partner, Joe Cassie. We had a machine shop in a building similar to that. We were partners many years. And again, the coal station is dedicated to Mike Kajeski, who really did a beautiful job helping build this table. It's 18 by 16, and it's a T-shaped layout. And he engineered that up, and I just felt I had to dedicate. He comes from coal country in Pennsylvania, and the first time he came up to the layout and saw his name on the coaling area here, he almost had a tear in his eye. The model plane area, I've dedicated, a lot of my friends have dedicated models and toolboxes and things, and the people in the background, you see there's a bunch of people, and there's a whole, I think there's probably 40 or 50 of them there. No two are the same. Everyone is hand painted, and I just thought that was kind of cool, the little bleachers in the back of the flying field. Now, we've had a lot of guests come to visit the layout over the years, bring their trains to run. And then many times we wind up going past midnight into a run session. But I've always enjoyed sharing the layout with other people, and a lot of my grandson's friends have come over and really enjoyed it. It's amazing. You would think modern kids with their video games would have no interest in model trains. Not totally true. And you can see the name Kajeski on the side of the coaling truck. It's amazing. He was really impressed that I did that. Now, the little details like the birds, the telephone poles, the coal is different grades and thicknesses, I guess the gradients of the coal, all the little people along the building. Now, there's one very unique thing. When Roger Karp from Classic Toy Trains was here and he did his photo shoot for the magazine, what he did, he was amazed at that I had hidden the chimney. He was here quite a while before he realized, oh, that's the chimney. And it was pretty cool the way it all played out. And I took a lot of the little things I made by hand, the little boxes and suitcases and little shelves, and some of the things are Lionel accessories, but they all combine to make a very unique. By the way, the windows are made from one rubber mold. Every boat, sailboat and rowboat, all made from one rubber mold. There's even one on top of a car. The guy's bringing his own boat. The people around, the little beach area on the layout, I thought that, and this is dedicated to my good friend Joe Carabello, who lived in my house for a while. And all the little lumber and all the little things made from balsa wood. Now, this is the focal point of the layout. When I built this layout, I had to deal with the fact right through the middle of it comes the chimney to the house. There was no way that could be moved realistically, and I had to deal with it. I made several sketches of how I was going to deal with it. Mike Kajeski helped me come up with a plan where we basically covered it with paneling, and then I covered the paneling with thin strips of balsa wood and put the molded epoxy windows in. And the little signs are all handmade. It's, when you look at it really close, the dock area, you can pull up the train there and you can see there's a lot of little details on all sides of that big building. But what happens is, over the years, I'm constantly changing it, and all of these little boxes I made from balsa wood, the little tubes are made from spare parts that I had from other layouts, the ice cubes from Lionel Accessories, the little signs made with Letrasets, and some of the cars that were gifted to me. That hospital car was the green one, gifted by Joe Carabello. And some of the things on the layout you don't really notice. You're looking at the trains, and all of a sudden out of the corner of your eye, you notice, ooh, that's got nice little detailing there. And that's the part of model railroading that I love the most. And detailing out this fly-in field, I try to include most of my friends. That blue plane is the late George Aldrich. That yellow car came from Bob Zambelli. A lot of these cars came from my late friend Arnie Haber, who I used to go to a lot of train shows with. And the big one that Mike Kajeski put in hundreds of hours building this table. We had to take the windows out of the attic of the house to bring in the 16-foot lumber to build this layout years ago. So I hope you did enjoy the video and you enjoyed my presentation. As crude as it might be, I have these old photos and old videos that I use, and I try to show some of the detailing. I did make the tunnel portals. I bought one piece of each, made a rubber mold, a common practice, I guess, in all of modeling. But the big one was that chimney. That threw me a curveball. That finally I was happy with the result. I wanted this layout to have super detailing. I wanted to be able to run the new trains in my collection and some of the old trains that are going to be 50, 60, and even 70 years old, and I run them all on the layout. The layout is set up so I can run any train I want. And I really spent the time detailing tunnel portals, making mountains. The mountains are made from foam and detailed out, and it seems like the more I run the layout, the more I think this layout is going to outlive me for sure. And it just seems to have stood the test of time very, very well, along with all the trains, both the Lionel and the Mike's Train House. And all these years later, they're still fun to run. And anytime I bring people up to the layout and we run trains, they're amazed at the new trains with the sound system. They're amazed at the detailing on the layout. It's just an amazing thing. And I never want to forget to thank Roger Karp, who did a wonderful presentation in Classic Toy Trains and really did some beautiful photography work. And a special thanks to Mike Kajeski for building this table. This table, 26 years later, is straight as an arrow. So I hope you did enjoy the video. I enjoy running the trains. I enjoy running the trains with friends. I've always enjoyed running trains with my grandson. Even when he was very young, we had layouts on the floor. We had layouts going around on shelves in his room, and no wonder he likes trains. And it's been a lifelong passion. The passions that I share on video: world travel, model aviation, motorcycles, and trains. They're all on this channel. And thank you guys one and all. Whether you're interested in trains, planes, or motorcycles, thank you for supporting the channel. And thanks so much for watching.